Joining me for today's headlines is my very good friend, Roy Wood Jr. What's going on, Roy?
South Africa, what's going on with you, man?
Oh, man, so good to see you, man.
You
this
too,
is nice.
man. I got Christmas spirit. Make sure you give me a gift.
Wow. I've never heard anybody say it like that, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you.
That's what we do over here. You get gifts.
Yeah, but I mean, normally people would say like, Christmas spirit, I have a gift for you, and now you want me to give...
I need to see what your gift is first, and then, then I go from there.
This is one hell of a spirit. In Africa, we just say, those are demons. All right, let's jump right into today's headlines. We kick things off with Omicron, the reason you need to adjust your 2022 mask budget. The new variant has now been found in 17 American states. Yeah, and honestly, by the time you see this, it'll probably be up to like 80 states. Now, there is some good news. Dr. Fauci says that while it's still too early to know for sure, it looks like Omicron spreads more easily than Delta, but maybe less severe. Yeah, which means COVID might have watered itself down so it could reach more people, like the ice cube of corona variants. And that would be amazing if it's true. I mean, like if COVID just made people sick instead of killing them, I mean, that would be a game changer. You know, it's still not great, but it's better. Imagine if Freddy Krueger started giving teenagers diarrhea instead of killing them. That's a major improvement. And a really weird movie. Don't you get it, man? If you poop in your dreams, you poop in your bed. I guess I'll just wash the sheets? Oh yeah, it's gonna be a whole laundry day. Still, even if that turns out to be true, nobody wants another big wave of COVID cases. Nobody wants that. Which is why today, Mayor Bill de Blasio announced that New York City will be the first city in the country to require all private employees to be vaccinated. Yeah, which means you can feel better now knowing that the guy selling you your fake vaccine card on the corner, well, he's also going to be vaccinated. And thanks to fears of Omicron, there's now a surge in demand for vaccines all over the world, although not for everyone.
A dentist in Italy is in hot water for trying to get his COVID vaccine in a fake arm.
He turned up for the shot with a fake arm covering his real arm, hoping the nurse wouldn't notice. But when the nurse rolled up his sleeve, she found the skin rubbery, cold, and the pigment too light.
He gave me a half smile and asked me to pretend I didn't know anything and to give him the vaccine anyway, and I realized that he was wearing a silicone bodysuit.
The silicone bodysuit the nurse is talking about would have looked something like this. There are several of them online for sale.
So wait. This dude just put on a fake suit? Like he was starring in House of Gucci, and then he thought that would fool a nurse? My man, nurses put needles in arms all day. They know what a real arm feels like. Like if a nurse feels cold, rubbery skin, they're definitely gonna be like, wait a minute, I already gave Mitch McConnell his shot. Who are you? Not to mention, this is Italy. That's the hardest place to pull off a fake arm. Hey, how come you not moving your hands around when you talk? I'm one of those Italians who doesn't do that. I let my mouth do the talking. There is no such a thing. Look, man, to be fair, guys, you can't be that mad at a dentist for lying to a doctor. I mean, how many times have you gone to your dentist and said, oh yeah, I definitely floss many times a day? He learned it from us. You know what I mean?
I gotta say this though, man. I respect the ingenuity. These people are getting more and more creative. These folks have come a long way from drinking bleach. And you got to respect that. You started with the drinking the bleach, and then it was a little bit of the horse medicine, and then they was fake vaccine cards, and now my man just got a whole arm on. That's what we need to start selling, dog.
Fake arms?
Yeah, fake arms.
I don't want to encourage them, Roy.
Hell yeah, fake arms. That's what we should start selling. What do you mean not encourage them? It's money. It's money to be made. People are willing to pay top dollar. This man bought a whole butt-naked suit on the internet to keep from getting a shot. You miss out on the money, man. You know I'm right, though. You know I'm right.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
All right, let's move on from COVID to the other big event that sweeps the whole world, the Olympics. It's when all the nations of the world compete to see who has the best steroids. They're also a chance for countries to come together in harmony despite their differences. But sometimes there are some differences that are too big to set aside. And that's when it's time to play a new Olympic sport, hardball.
Now to more breaking news. The U.S. will not send any diplomatic representatives to the Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics. Press Secretary Jen Psaki announced the boycott, citing China's ongoing genocide and human rights abuses.
In the past, first ladies, even presidents have led the U.S. delegation to the Olympics, but this move by the Biden administration will mean no U.S. government officials attend in protest of China's human rights abuses. American athletes, however, will still be allowed to compete.
Wow, 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 wow. That's huge. There will be no American government officials at the Olympics, which means if they want to watch it, they'll have to do it the way the rest of us do, by turning on the TV and then getting bored after 3 minutes and then turning it off. And that's a real shame that the American officials won't be at the Olympics, because you realize Kamala Harris was about to become the first black woman to ever watch a hockey game. But I mean, honestly, it doesn't surprise me that Joe Biden would do this. It doesn't surprise me at all. For one thing, he cares deeply about human rights. For another, he's 79 years old. I mean, he's not about to fly across 12 time zones to watch a bunch of Norwegians sweep an ice rink. That's the one cool reason to be president, right? Most of us, if we don't want to do something, we have to come up with some lame excuse. And then everyone else shows up and talks about how we didn't come. But if you're president, you can just be like, diplomatic boycott. No one is allowed to attend Emily's birthday brunch. Now, the reason the US is doing this diplomatic boycott of the Olympics is to protest China's abuses against the Uyghurs, right? Which the US government has declared a genocide. And when you think about it, it's a little weird to accuse an Olympic host of genocide, but then still send all of your athletes to that country? I mean, it's genocide. At least pull out the bobsled team. Because now all you're doing is saying, you know, all our boring people, well, we're not sending them. That's the punishment. Like, if Biden really wanted to punish China, he shouldn't withhold government officials. No, he should send government officials. In fact, you know what? He should send the ones nobody can stand. Yeah. If you want to get back at China, you have Marjorie Taylor Greene in the stands. The only way a speed skater could move that quickly is with Jewish magnets. Okay, we'll let the Uyghurs go. Please, just take her back.
Hey, first off, with all this global warming, ain't but like 6 Winter Olympics left. They should have gone. There ain't that many Winter Olympics left in the first place. And the bigger question I have for you, and you might know this, because you more international than me. What does a diplomat do? They just show up and they go, hey, man, America's good. We good, America. Make sure you like America.
That's essentially a diplomat's job.
Then they're an influencer. They're just a political influencer. That's what you do. You influence the country. Honestly, if you want to make the Winter Olympics more exciting, this is what they need to do, African. They need to do the summer events in the winter. That's how you get the Winter Olympics popping. I don't know shit about no bobsled, but I love track and field. Oh, you the fastest person on the track? Let's add some ice. See what you do now. I'm going to email the IOC. You know him, right? Let me hit him up real quick.
Actually, I would want to watch those Olympics.
You telling me Michael Phelps in ice water? You telling me that's not entertaining? Michael Phelps in ice water.
Michael Phelps on ice is even more entertaining.
Just sliding. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to our next story, which is about jobs. They're how we pass the time until we die. Over the past few months, more people have been quitting their jobs than ever before. But while that's going on, some people are still becoming unemployed the old-fashioned way, by getting fired. And one CEO just came up with a new and terrible way to do it.
A web boss had some brutal news for more than 900 of his workers who had just joined him on a Zoom call. You're fired. Less than 4 weeks from Christmas.
Dumped via Zoom, the mortgage startup Better.com fired 9% of the workforce in a Zoom call that lasted less than 3 minutes.
Thank you for joining. I come to you with not great news. This is the second time in my career I'm doing this, and I do not want to do this. The last time I did it, I cried. This time I hope to be stronger. If you're on this call, you are part of the unlucky group being laid off. Your employment here is terminated, effective immediately.
Okay, first of all, you can't say if you're on this call, you're unlucky enough, like the call was an optional thing, and then people got tricked into it. That's some bullshit. If you're on this call, well, I'm not on this call, am I still fired? Get the out of here, man. 900 people getting fired at once, that's not a firing, that's a rapture. I mean, a big group firing is the most impersonal thing you can do. If you respect an employee, you should have the decency to sit down and tell them to their face why you think they suck. And to be fired over Zoom is especially tough because, I mean, you can't storm out all dramatic. You know, if you fight in the office, you get to be like, you'll be working for me one day, bang! But on Zoom, you have to be like, you'll all be working for me one day. Wait, where's the leave me? No, that's gallery view, that's mute. Am I gone? No. Okay, you'll all be working for me one day. Hold on. Hey, how do I quit the thing? How do I, can Dennis help me with this? Can we get Dennis to help me? I can't, yeah, the button's not working for me to leave. Oh man, I hope you guys are working for me one day so you can help me with this kind of stuff. You know, the worst part for me was how the CEO made it all about himself as well. Oh, this is so tough. I hope I don't cry again. What are the people supposed to do? Comfort you for firing them? There, it's okay. I am expendable. I get it. I mean, not to mention, I don't think anyone should ever get fired before Christmas. You know, it totally ruins the season. If you're gonna fire someone on a holiday, you do it on Valentine's Day. Yeah, that way at least you give them an excuse. Baby, I would have gotten you something, but my boss set me free.
I'll tell you what you need to happen. You need to start letting these employees fight their bosses. That's how you straighten this out. He a CEO. He can be found. Pull up on his house on Christmas and ask him outside like a gentleman and go, let's fight.
We're not encouraging this. This is just an idea and a concept.
You can say, speak for yourself. I'm telling you what I would do. If you put me on Zoom with 900 other people, I'm gonna come fight you.
So you're saying if I let you go, you're gonna come and fight me?
Absolutely. If you in front of 899 other people, yes. It's 900 people. It's disrespect. Squid Game was 450 people. This is 2 Squid Games. 2 Squid Games worth of disrespect. I gotta fight you. Them the rules. Look, I don't know what y'all do in South Africa. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama, and I'm gonna fight you.
I don't think we have mass Zoom firings in South Africa.
How y'all fire people over there?
Well, we first have to find the jobs for them.
You're right.
All right, and finally, let's talk about heroin. The only injection with a worse reputation than the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Heroin addiction is a big problem all over the US. In fact, here in New York City, around 2,000 people die of drug overdoses every year. But now, New York is the first place in America to try a new way to save some of those lives.
New York City has opened the first in the nation drug injection sites in hope of preventing overdoses. The locations will allow people to use drugs, including heroin, under the care of medical professionals while giving them access to treatment.
The city says that the supervised injection sites will provide users with a safer place to administer drugs and get medical care if they overdose.
And it turns out that there's more than just injection happens there. Addicts are allowed to smoke crack in the room if they choose to do that. The director of one of the sites told the Post people are allowed to bring the substance they prefer.
Mayor de Blasio says 5 drug overdoses were reversed during the first day of 2 new safe injection sites being opened in the city.
Yes, that's right, people. The same way that cocaine addicts have their own street, now heroin addicts have a safe place where they can do their drugs. And I know this is controversial, I know it is, but I think that this is a great idea. And it's the exact opposite of an idea that I had. Yeah, I pitched the city an idea where I said we should open a clinic where people could smoke weed for the first time. Yeah, and then after 2 puffs, I would jump in and be like, can you guys hear that? Oh shit, can you guys hear that? Oh man, I think they're coming. All right, have a good one, y'all. Just to inspire the high. In fact, I think they should do harm reduction like this for everything that puts people in danger, not just drugs. Like they should have a site where people can go and text their ex, because you know it's a bad idea. You know something's gonna go wrong, but it would be better if someone was looking over your shoulder, helping you. You know, just like, no, too thirsty. Oh, also, you misspelled vagina. Yeah, it's not with a J, yeah. Here's my theory. I actually think that this is gonna get people off of drugs. You know, I've seen people saying the city's gonna make more drug addicts, no, guys, it's not. This is gonna get them off drugs, because if the city is running this thing, it's gonna take forever to get high there. You're gonna be in line for 6 hours, make you fill out all kinds of forms, and then when you finally get up to the window, the woman behind the counter will be like, excuse me, sir, this isn't the line for doing crack. You need to be in that line, okay? And you need to fill out the blue form, okay? The blue form, where do I get that one? You gotta bring it from home, sir, okay? Oh, screw this. I'm just gonna get clean. Okay, you need the pink form for that one, honey. All right?
Man, you see a drug den, I see a cheap hotel. I see a cheap place to go take a nap. I ain't even got a fool with Airbnb no more. All you got to do is go in there and convince them that you own drugs and you get a nap. That's what they say, right? Come in here, do your drugs, rest, relax, enjoy your high. That ain't nothing but a nap room. All I need is a fake arm to put my crack needle in.
I think they would notice.
No, they don't do the injections. That probably costs $10 extra. So I'll self-inject into my fake arm and pretend to be on crack.
You couldn't just go nap in a park?
No, that's dangerous. There's people out there doing drugs.